Hi, I am Isabel Lafayette, and I am wondering who you are.
I'm John Flecher. I'm a peasant, and life's pretty difficult out here.
Um, what is life exactly like for you?
Uh, like I said, it's pretty difficult. I need to get some of that bread, and it's hard to get that bread. It costs money to eat.
What are your hopes for the future?
That I get some more bread, because I need to eat.
Okay, nice. So bread seems like a big part of your life. But due to like overwork and poor nutrition and illness, 1 in 5 people die before reaching the age of 1.
That's terrible.
And less than half of the age, or half live to the age of 15. So with that, how do you feel seeing your family members and like workers die so frequently? Like, does it make you motivate you to work harder, or does it not?
Well,
really
obviously,
do
I
anything?
need to work hard because getting that bread is pretty hard. So I work my behind off, and I do my best, and it really breaks my heart to see so many people dying at such a young age. But I just have to provide for my family, and I work hard to do that.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Isabel Lafayette, and I'm wondering who you are.
I'm from the bourgeoisie. I am Dehan Forrest.
What is life like for you as a bourgeoisie, a member?
It's pretty nice, but it's hard. It's a lot of hard work. Go to work every day, and I just work I work as a banker, so I have to worry about peasants not stealing my money, and then I can go home and have a nice life.
Nice. What are your hopes for the future?
I hope that the nobility get taxed more, and hope that the bourgeoisie get more political rights. Yeah.
Nice. So being a member of the bourgeoisie meant you were allowed to buy public offices. So buying an office seemed like a big deal. What was so popular about that?
Well, you could be a part of the nobility, and you get more government privileges, and then you can also pass it down to your children so that they can also be, be wealthy.
And in your opinion, was it really helpful to like increase your social status with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Isabel Lafayette, and may I ask who you are?
I'm Michelle Sinclair, and I'm a noble.
And what is life like for you as a noble?
It's pretty easy. I kind of just sit around. I go to church a lot, and I eat a lot of food. I try to get seen by royalty. I like meeting with my other noble friends. And yeah.
What are your hopes for the future?
Well, right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what life is like right now, and I'm satisfied with life as a noble, and I just kind of hope for things to stay the same.
So being a member of the nobility, you are given special rights, you're pretty high up there, and you don't have to pay taxes. But do you ever feel sorry for the peasants and the bourgeoisie who have to pay taxes, or do you think it's just part of their job since they're such low class?
No, I definitely think that we deserve to be exempt from those taxes, and the peasants and bourgeoisie definitely deserve to have to pay those, and I don't feel bad for them for having to pay those taxes.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are back. What's your name again?
John Flecher.
So, what are your views on the National Assembly?
I really like what they're doing. I think I think they're promising. Their ideas are promising. The oath of the tennis court was a big step forward because it'll lead to a beautiful constitution that benefits everyone in society instead of just the higher up.
What changes should be made in France?
I think some changes that are very important. Well, your microphone isn't plugged in, first of all, so What do change I think would be very good is less tax on bread and stuff, because that's very important for us to live.
Obviously, yep.
Yeah, and I think also taxing the higher up people would be very good, because they don't get taxed at all and they get to keep all the money. That ain't fair.
Mm-hmm.
And less tithe.
Yeah. So what is your biggest fear the future might bring?
Well, I think the biggest fear is that I won't be able to get that bread anymore for my family.
Yeah, that's...
It's pretty scary stuff.
Because it is a struggle to feed yourself.
Exactly.
And your family on its own. And when prices are increased, it angered you guys, obviously. What steps did you take to make prices fair again and make sure you could feed yourself?
Well, we kind of went to the king and were like, yo, lower the prices again. Because he took off the maximum price they could be. I don't know what it was called, but so he took off the max price. So the company, the bread company, there were large tax increases for the wheat, and yeah, it pissed me off.
And they also thought that the government was trying to starve you guys since they
Exactly.
didn't have money. How did that make you feel?
Made me feel angry.
Yeah. That's
I was very heated, and peeved, and irked. So I mean, that just gives you a little insight into my feelings.
Yeah, so thank you for your time. What are your views on the National Assembly?
I feel that when they put the National Assembly in, it was good, but when they made it, it was very unfair. We only had a 1 to 3 advantage, even though there's 96% of the people are either bourgeoisie or peasants, and 2/3 of the votes go to the higher classes, which is very unfair for us.
What changes should be made in France?
In France, the nobility should have less privileges, like less taxes, or no, more taxes. It should have less taxes to kind of even out the burden. And then,
What is your biggest fear for what the future might bring?
I feel like if things continue to go the way they do, they'll just fall down, and the France would just fall down and be a big mess.
Being a member of the bourgeoisie, people in France were aware of the financial troubles, which brought taxes and a higher price on basic goods. Did you see change amongst the people in France? Do you see more people on the streets, protesting? Were there more fights? What did you see change?
I saw a lot more protests. There were a lot more people that were fighting for the rights, because there were the peasants lived with animals, so they had, and then they got diseases, and then you can't live with that anymore. So they just protested because France didn't give them their needs, and so then they began to protest.
Thank you. Again.
Hi.
Can you remind us of your name?
My name is Michelle Sinclair.
That's right. And you are part of the nobility.
Yes.
So, views on the National Assembly.
Well, I really appreciated what they did for us. They helped a lot of things get passed, and it really benefited our society in good ways.
What changes should be made in France?
Okay, well, I really like France the way it is now, and I don't really hope for any new changes, because as of now, life is good.
Good. So, what is your biggest fear the future might bring?
I fear that there will be a big, lengthy rebellion, and the king will lose his power, and everything will come crashing down, and the nobility won't have as much power as we do right now.
Nice. So, the nobility also felt a little threatened by the increase in prices, along with the change of their normal lifestyles. Did you ever start to feel unprivileged for the first time?
No, I've always felt privileged. I feel like we've kind of extended our power as nobility, and I hope to keep expanding our power and for it to keep increasing.
Go. Thank you. Hello again. Can you remind us of your name, please?
I am Jean-Paul St. Francis.
So what are your views on the National Assembly?
Ugh, sacre bleu! They're terrible. They are upstarts. They think they're going to change things. They do not speak for the people. The king, who is God's divine agent, speaks for the people. They have no legitimacy, and I find them annoying.
What changes would you like to see in France?
I would very much like to see them. I would like the absolute monarchy to reassert its authority. We tried to call the Estates General. It really isn't a good idea. Look what it led to. We need to go back to the way things are. France is a world power. We are spreading our religion. We have colonies. We don't need to change.
What is your biggest fear the future might bring to you?
I fear an upheaval of the monarchy. I fear a challenge to the authority and supremacy of the place of the church in French society. We must not allow that to happen. You are in my scene.
Good.